Hello guys and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to create another Flutter application for video calling. So we are going to use ZEGOCLOUD for video calling capabilities to create this new awesome Flutter application. So what we're going to do by the end of this video, we are going to start a video call like this, and then the other person can join the video call. Then the two of you can chat with a video, okay? So we're going to do all of this by the end of this video using ZEGOCLOUD. So from here you can control the phone, you can edit, you can take screenshots, you can mute the mouse, you can reduce the volume, and then you can end the call. Okay, so let's go ahead and end this call, and then let's get started with creating this application. So the first thing we are going to do is to come to this website, ZEGOCLOUD. This is a UI kit for ZEGOCLOUD. Okay, this is what the platform that we're going to use to create our application. Okay, so here you can read all about it. It's a build fast and ship more with UI kits. Okay, first your time to market pre-build UI kits and UI components, build engaging app with the shortest possible time instead of building from the ground. Okay, most of the things have already been done for us. We are just going to write some small code and then we will be good to go. If you scroll down here, you can check more UI kits. So experience pre-built video call kit. This is definitely the one that we are going to use because we are going to create a video call application. And then you can see that it's multi-platform here. If you come here, you can even test a live video call. And then if you scroll all the way down here, you can see these UI kits. Okay, there's a live audio room, online karaoke, watch together, game streaming. You can do all of these with ZEGOCLOUD. Okay, and then video consultation, fitness, live shopping, one-to-one tutorial. If you proceed down here, you can see build feature-rich apps with our core products. Okay, you can see that it's got video call, voice call, video call, live streaming, in-app chat, and then AI effects. Okay, so what we are going to do right now, we want to make a video call. Okay, so let's get started. So to get started, we need to click here on the sign up. Okay, so let's click here. So now we're gonna come to this page. From this page, we need to create an account. Okay, so here, first of all, I need to enter my first name, and then I'm gonna put my last name, and then here I need to select my country, so which is this one. Okay, and then here I need to enter an email address that I want to log in with. Now, once I enter an email address here, I need to press on get code. Okay, so this is gonna load, and then I'm going to receive like a captcha here to verify. So let me just quickly verify this. All right, now I'm gonna have to check my email to check for the code. So let me quickly open my mailbox. So in my mailbox here, I can see that I've got this code. So I'm just gonna copy it and then minimize and then come back here and then paste that code here. Now here you need to enter a strong password. So I'm just gonna enter mine. There we go. Now we're gonna click both of these to agree the terms, and then from here I'm going to click on start free trial. So that will bring us to this page. From here we need to enter our company, like our company name is required. So I'm just gonna enter this. And then the website, if you don't have a website, it's still okay. If you have a website, you need to enter a website here. And then here you need to enter a job title. So, and then here you need to enter the industry. So I'm just gonna go with that. And then here you need to put your phone number. So let's select my phone number here. All right, now that all of this is filled up, you just simply click on continue. Now here you can see that we have received 10,000 free minutes that we can use without any changes. Okay, so there we go. And then now from here we just need to click on go to dashboard. So now on our dashboard, you can see all the details of our account. Okay, we can see our balance and then the minutes that we have and all other features. Okay, so now from here we need to create the application. Okay, so to create a new project, you need to come over up here and then click on the plus icon. So from here you can select select the use case for your application. Okay, so you can select either video conference, live streaming, live audio, game streaming, one-to-one tutoring, health, telehealth, in-app chat. So you can select from all of these. Okay, but in our case we are interested in a voice and video call. So let's go on ahead and select this one. So after selecting what you want to use, and then you come down here, you click on next. Now here on next, you need to give your project a name. So I'm going to name it ZEGOCLOUD Call. Okay, I'm just going to name it like that, the ZEGOCLOUD Call. And then you need to come down here, and then we're going to start with UI kit. Okay, so let's press on this one and then we'll wait a bit. It's going to take us to the next screen. So here we also just need to wait a bit until our project is created. So after our project is done creating, now we need to choose a platform. You can see that we can create for web, iOS, Android, Flutter, and React. So in our case, we want to create a Flutter app, which is going to be web, iOS, and Android. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on this Flutter icon. And then here we can choose to customize settings here. But for now, so you can see that we can have a one-to-one or a group call. Okay, so right now let's deal with one-to-one, and then later on maybe we can do a group call. For now we are doing the one-to-one. Okay, now that this is like this, and then let's just scroll down and then let's just do click on save to integrate over here. So let's save. Now after saving, we're going to come to the configuration screen. Okay, so here that's where you're going to see your app ID here, and then you're also going to see your app sign. Okay, so this is information that only you should have. Okay, this is what we are going to use later on. Okay, so now in our configuration screen here, we need to go ahead and click on a quick start here. So let's go ahead and click there. So that quick start here is going to take us to this page. This is the documentations page. Okay, so now here we're going to see how we are going to integrate ZEGOCLOUD in our Flutter application. Okay, so there is this quick start video you can watch to take you to YouTube, and then you can just see how it's done. Okay, all right, now let's get started implementing it in our Flutter application. Okay, so let's go through the documentation step by step. So the first thing we have to do is to install the package in our Flutter application. Okay, so let's copy that, and then I'm going to minimize that. Now here I've just created the the new Flutter application. You can see that I've also named it ZEGOCLOUD Video Call. This is just a new Flutter application with a main.dat. There's nothing else. We can create that basic UI together here. So the first thing we have to do is let's open a terminal, and then here from the root of the application we have to paste that command, and then now we're just gonna click enter to install the package. Okay, all right, the package is installed. Let's just quickly confirm that. If we come here, we can see that we have the package installed over here. All right, so let's close that and then get back to our browser. Now here we have to move on to the next step. So if we come down here, you can see that now you can now in your Dart you can just paste this above, and then we can call that package. Okay, so we're going to need this call page, so we're simply going to copy this code. So using the ZEGO UI kit in pre-built core in your project, we can use this call page. So I've copied all this code, and then again I'm going to go back here, and then what I will do here on the lib, I'll right click and then create a new, let's say a new folder. Then I'm going to say pages. From here I'm going to create a new file, and then I'm going to call this call page.dat. okay, now inside here I'm going to paste that call page, and then here it's a stateless widget. What I will do is I will just import that. We're going to import the material package, and then we also need to import this ZEGOCLOUD, which is the from our package. We're going to click here and then import that. Then that is gone. Now we need the ID, and then we need the app sign in. So this we are going to get from our configuration page. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is to go back to our page, and then we can go back to our configuration page, and then we're going to need this app ID. So let's copy it, then minimize, and then we need to store this somewhere in the application. Okay, so for now we're just going to create a constant class and then store them, but you need to hide this in like dot environment files. Okay, but for now we're simply going to hide them in the constant class. So let's create a constant dot that, and then let's click class constants. So this is going to be a static constant of yeah. So app ID, we are going to paste our app ID here. Okay, so but this is supposed to be a string, so what we're gonna an int. So what we're gonna do is we remove that string, and then we will remove those brackets. Okay, so this has to be an int, and then for the app sign in we need to go back. Let's just simply copy that and then minimize that, and then let's paste that. All right, now for the user ID and username, we don't need to put them as a constant. These are going to be dynamic. Okay, so let's remove that, because those are going to be coming from the user's name or the ID, and the core ID is going to be changing. Okay, so that's it. That's all we have to do here. We can close the constants class. Now here we have to call our constants or the app ID, and then here let's go constants dot app sign in. Okay, so the user ID, this one for now, let's leave it like this, and then the core ID is going to come from the class. Okay, from the navigation. Okay, let's continue with the setup. Okay, so the next thing to do is let's go back to our configurations. So now here we need to go back here to the documentation, and then we have done this part. Now we need to move on to the next part. So here right now I will use Android because I am on Windows. There is a configuration for iOS, and then there's a configuration for Android. So let's get started with Android. So here we need to expand this, and then we can see that here edit Android app.bundle, open the file Android app build.grade. So here we need to add this line of code in the dependencies. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Let's just copy it like that, and then come back here, and then here we need to go to Android app build.grade. Now down here we have to paste that one just after this code here. Okay, just after this Flutter source. we are pasting that, and then let's go back. So we have just done this part. Now second, we need to go change the minimum SDK. So go into this and then change the minimum SDK in the same folder, the same file. Okay, so let's minimize, and then here you can see here under minimum SDK here, we need to change this to 21. Okay, that's what the documentation says. Let's go back. So after you change this minimum SDK to 21, we come back here, and then it says change the compile SDK to version 33. Let's minimize, and then let's come back here. You can see this compile, this one here. We need to change to 33. Then we go back. Next, we come down here. Then now if we come down here, it says if your project is created with Flutter 2. Version 2, you will need to modify that same file. You need to change it to compile SDK to 33. Okay, so this first part is done. Let's minimize this, edit Android Gradle. Now let's click on this one. So you can see now here it says open the file Android Gradle and add the following. Okay, so let's copy this, then go back so we can minimize this. So this is says open Android, and then down here build.gradle. Okay, now we need to add that. So here let's paste that. That is the code that we have pasted. Let's go back. So you can see after we have pasted this, we move on, which is going to be here. This is example what it's telling us where we need to paste. Okay, so exactly where we have pasted under Android build.gradle, we have pasted that, but maybe we need to paste it on top. So let me go back, and then we want to move this. Let's cut it, and then it says that it shows that we need to put it like that on top, because if we go back, we can see that it's on top. Now we move on. This is done. We can also minimize that. Now we can get modify Gradle wrapper. If we minimize this, we can see that make the Gradle version 7.0 in your project Android Gradle wrapper properties. So we need to make this to version 7.4.4. okay, so let's just follow this path, Android Gradle and then wrapper. Okay, so if we come here, I'm into Android, and then we come here under Gradle, and then this one, Gradle wrapper properties. Okay, now here you can see that in my case it's already 7.6.3. For you, if it's lower than that, make sure it's 7.4 and above. Okay, so this setting is done. Let's go back. Now if we come back here, we have changed that, so meaning this is done. We can also minimize. Now modify the permission. Let's maximize this, and then expand it, and then we need to copy all of these permissions. Okay, we copy all of these permissions. Let's copy, and then here it says on your app source main Android manifest. Okay, so let's go there. So here we need to go in Android app source. So let me minimize all of this so that you can see it's clear. So we got Android app source, and then main, and then manifest. Okay, Android manifest. Now on top here we can paste all those permissions. Okay, that's the permissions that we have. We can go ahead and close and save this file. We can also save all of these and close all of these open files. Okay, great. Now let's go back. So these permissions we have copied. Let's also minimize this, and then let's check the last one here. Now if we expand this, we can see that to prevent obfuscation of the SDK public class names, do the following. So here in your project Android app folder, create a program rules.pro file with the following content as shown below. Okay, so let's do exactly this. So what we're going to do is to copy this code, and then it says we need to create this folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I copy this, first I'm just going to copy the name of this folder. You can see that it's showing us here in the picture. It says in your Android app folder. Okay, so let's go back there, and then we go to Android, and then here in the app folder, this folder. All right, we have to right click and then create a new file, and then I'm going to paste the name that I've got there. Okay, then I'm going to click enter. So there is the file you've seen I've created inside the Android app folder. Okay, now let's go back, and then here now we're going to copy this code, then minimize and come back here and then paste it here. All right, so we have put that, and then we can go ahead and close and save that. So now inside here we have this folder. Now let's go back and look at the next step. So here the next step is, it says that add the following config code to release part of your project. Okay, so Android app build.grade. So we are going to copy this, and then it's even showing us here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this file. Okay, so after I've copied this line of code here, I'm going to go to this path, Android app build.grade. Okay, so let's minimize, and then we're going to go to Android app build.grade. Okay, now let's come down here. It says we put it under this. Okay, so let's go ahead and paste it here, and then with that we are done with the configuration. Now we can go ahead and close and save that. Okay, great. So let's just go back. You can see that if we minimize this, all of this for Android, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, we have done. Okay, so if we were on Mac, we could have also come here and then done all of these changes, but we cannot see the pod file in our Windows environment. Okay, if I minimize this, and then if we go here, then we come to iOS, we don't have a pod file, so we cannot complete the configuration unless we are on Mac OS. So with that, the configuration is done. So what I'm going to simply do first is to run the application before I start making any changes. Okay, all right, our application is successfully running. So we have successfully installed the ZEGOCLOUD. Okay, so let's continue. Let's get started to create our basic UI. So the first thing that I'm going to do is going to create the home screen. Okay, so here let's right click, and then let's also create the home page. This dot. So this is going to be, let's just create a stateful widget. All right, now here let's return a scaffold. Then let's have an app bar. So this is going to be a bar. Then let's create title. So here maybe we can call the title as a text, and then we can say charts. Okay, we can have a constant keyword, and then we can close that. Then after here we can have a body. So in the body here we can have a list view. Okay, let's have a list this view builder. So now on this list view, let's just create some dummy chart list. Okay, we just want to show a list of charts here. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that. So let's come back here and then create a new folder. Let's call it models. All right, now in these models here, let's right click, and then let's create a chart. Let's call it chart model dot dat. Here, let's create a class chat model. So here, let's have some variables. So first, let's have a string, which is going to be an ID. Let's have a name. Let's have an image. Let's have a last message. Let's have maybe, yeah, we'll call it last message time. Now here, let's also just have a constructor. Okay. Now here we have to create that, and then let's have some required keywords, and then we have all of that. We simply going to close that and then come down here. Here let's have some dummy chat data. Okay. Dummy chat, let's call it chat list data, or maybe 5. Okay. So let's see if our assistant will create that. Okay, so yeah, let's click on tab. Then we can minimize that and then simply just close that out. Remain with the last time, and then we can create the time like that, and then we can close it out. Okay, great. So we are going to have that dummy data like that, the list of chats. Okay, now that we have this data, we can go back in the home screen. And then down here now, we're gonna have to come down here, and then here we need to have the item count. So here we're going to have our chat model dot chat list dot length, and then the item builder. Here we're simply going to create our, okay, what's going on? Let's go back. The item builder here, we're simply going to create our item builder. Here we're going to have a context. Okay, let's click tab, and then here we are missing a bracket. Let's just close it out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we are going to close it out like that. So now here, let me just explain. We have a list view dot builder, and then we are getting the length of that dummy chart, which is here, which is 5. And then from here we are creating the builder, which is a lister. But here we don't have that image, because these links for the images we have created, we have nothing in the assets here. We haven't put any assets. So if you want, you can put those image in the assets, but we're not going to do that. Since we don't have that image, what we'll do is, instead of putting it as a background image here, let's remove that and then put it as, just put a child, and then the child, let's go our icon, which is going to come from icons.person. Okay, now let's add the constant keyword here. All right, we have our home screen. Now it's time to show it here. We just simply need to come to main.dat. We can remove all of these comments. We don't need these. And then since here we are showing this home page, let's remove that. Let's show our not my home page. We created a home page. What did we call it? My widget. No, let's rename this. Let's rename this to home page. Okay, now when we come here, we want to call our home page. Great. Now we don't need this, we can delete. All right, now let's just hot reload. We can see that we have that list of some dummy chat data. Okay, great. So let's also remove this. So to remove this, just here we can say debug mode banner to false. Let's hot reload. Great. Now we have the list of chats here. Okay, now the next thing to do is just to come here on the home page, and then we also just put the on tap function. So here you just need to navigate to the chat page, okay, which is going to be chat messages. Okay, let's call it chat messages. Okay, Now let's create that class. So the first thing is what we're going to do is again create another model. So here let's create the message model. We're gonna call it that, and then here let's call class message model. So here let's have a string which is going to be the ID of the message, and then let's have the message itself. Let's call it message, and then let's have maybe message time, and then we're going to have the boolean which is going to check if is our message. Okay, that's all we need. And then let's have a constructor, and then again let's have some dummy list of dummy list. It's going to be list of data of maybe 10 messages. Okay, so let's see what it's going to create. It's going to create that hello, how are you, and then we are going to have a message time. So this also, let's just create that dummy message time, and then that is going to be false. Then we can close it out like that. We close also this one, and then let's just let the AI assist us to make all of these messages. So first of all, we need to put a bracket there. Then we're going to have another message. So we should have message time. And then we're going to have that boolean. Let's have another message here. I'm just gonna quickly make all of these messages, okay? Okay, so let's just have these 5 messages. It's fine just for the test. So now that we have the messages, let's go back to our chat. Where is our new class, which is going to be, oh, we haven't created the new class. Let's create it. So in our pages here, let's right click and then create another. Let's call it chat messages dot. So this is going to be a stateful widget. We're going to call it chat messages, okay? And then here we need to create to return a scaffold. So here we're going to have an up bar. Well, let's have a leading, which is going to be the back button. We can put the constant keyword here, and then after this one we're going to have a title. Okay, so for the title we need to create we want to show the name and the person, and then also we want to show the call button. Okay, so maybe here first of all let's again pass the required this the chat model. Right, we want to pass the chat model. Then let's come back here, and then this is not going to be a string, it's going to be a chat model like that. This is going to be chat model like that. Okay, now let's move on here. First we want to show the contact info here, so let's name this build contact info. Now here let's pass the widget dot chat model, and then we're gonna create this method. Okay, so here this is going to be a widget. Okay, we're just gonna return a raw widget. Okay, now this row is going to have children, and then the first child, what we're gonna do is going to be the constant of the avatar. So this, of course, the child is going to be the icon, since we don't have an image. So it's going to be icons dot person like that. So this one, it's going to be a constant, and then next let's have a constant of size box. Constant of size box. So let's have a width of 10. And then what else do we need here? So, okay, so this should be out of the circle avatar. Let's put a comma here and paste it here. And then we want to close that. So after this size boxed, what we want to put is a column, okay? So now in this column also has children. So the first thing is going to be the name, okay? So first let's have okay, you can see, let's click tab and then we close it out. So we have a chat model.name and then the font size. So this shouldn't be like this. This comes from style, which comes from text style, okay? Now from here we can have a font size and the font weight, okay? So here the first thing is let's just put the font size, which is going to be 16. We don't even need the font weight here. We can remove it, okay? So we can also add a constant keyword there. And then next, after the name, we just want to put the text, which says that just after this text field, we want to put another text field, which is going to say online, okay? So this one is just the data to say that the person we're talking to is online. We can also give it a style, which come from the text style, and then the font size, we can give this as 12, okay? So this also we can add a constant keyword because it's going to be constant. So this is going to just to show the name and the subtitle in the user. And then here in the column, we can also put the main axis alignment, cross axis alignment. We're going to align it to start. So that's going to be that. And then we have a back button. To have a look at this, all we have to do is first we're just going to go to the home screen, and then here we're going to say navigator dot push, and then here we'll say material page route, and then context, and then here we're going to navigate to chat messages, okay? And then we are going to pass that chat model at list, okay, at index, like that, okay? Now with this, if we hot reload, once we click here, it's hotly loading. So once we click here, we can see that we can go inside here, and then we can see the name that we have clicked and then the image if it's there, okay? The next thing to do is inside the chat messages here, in the app bar, after this title, we have actions, okay? Under the actions here, what we want to do is to show an icon button, okay? Icon button. So on pressed, this is going to take us to the core screen. And then here we're going to have icon, which comes from icons, icons dot video call, okay? We need to put a constant keyword here. So if we hot reload, we want something that looks like that. When we click it, we're going to speak to this person. Now we can also display our messages here I just want us to see, to feel how the chat looks like, okay? Like the chat app looks like. We need to have messages here and then the bottom chat, because right now we can completely go here and test our function, but let's make this look more nice, okay? So let's continue inside here. So what we're gonna do here we just need to navigator dot push. Again, here we'll say material page route. Then we want to say context. Then here we're going to navigate to our core screen, okay, core page. Now here we need to pass the core ID, okay. So the core ID, for example, I'm going to just say 1 up to 6, which is going to be our test core ID, okay. So in the real application, this core ID is going to be dynamic, okay. It's not always going to be 1 up to 6. So if we hot reload now, when we click here, it's going to take us to the core screen. But before we do that, let's just create a UI here. If you don't want to watch the coding of the UI, you can skip to this timeline on the screen. But for now, let's just create this UI before we proceed to our core here, okay. So let's continue. So first, let's start with a bottom chat field here, okay. So for that, we are going to create another folder which we're going to call widgets, okay. Now inside widgets here, let's right click and then let's create a bottom chat field dot. So this is going to be a stateful widget which is called bottom chat field. Now in the bottom chat field here, above here, let's first start by initializing the text editing controller. So text editing controller, this is going to be, okay, we're going to call it text editing controller, and then like that. So here on dispose, we need to dispose this controller. So here we're going to get our text editing controller dot dispose. Now here we'll return a container. Okay. So first let's have some decoration. So box decoration. Okay. So here this decoration, let's see. So the color, let's change it. Instead of this, let's get the theme color. So let's get theme dot of context dot let's just see, let's get the card color. And then what else? So what else can we change here? So maybe we don't need the box shadows for now. Okay. What we need here is a border radius. So border radius, let's get border radius dot secular. Let's change, let's keep this rounded, maybe 30. What else? So let's also have the border. So the border, let's get all sides. So border dot all. And then here, let's get the color. So theme, we are going to get, so now this, I want to change it a bit. So let's get the text theme. Text theme dot, maybe I'm gonna get this title large dot color. All right, like that. So I think the decoration, that's it. And then next, let's have a child. So here we are going to return a row. So this row is going to have children, and then for the children, first of all, we're going to have an expanded. Okay. So the first one is going to be the text field, okay? So this text field, let's see what we can put here. So first, instead of just returning it, let's put it in the padding, okay? Let's wrap it in the padding widget, and then maybe this, let's change it to 6, the padding. And then what else do we need here? Maybe the input decoration, let's do input decoration dot collapse, okay? Now this also, we can put the border, okay? So the border, okay, we have none, and then also let's put the border radius, okay? So let's put the border radius. That is going to be on the border, okay? Let's remove this. What we want to do here on the border is we're going to put the outline border, okay? We're going to put the outline border like that, and then inside here we're going to put the border radius, which is also going to be 30, and then let's put the border side. We remove the border side to 9. What else? So we have the in text, which is type the message. I think that's it for the text field. And then the next is going to be the icon button. So here for the icon button, on pressed, we need to put the method to send the message. We can customize it even further, but I think for the simple one, it's okay like this. Okay. So now the next thing to do is to go back into our chat messages. So let's go inside chat messages. And then here in the chat messages, we only have an up bar. Here we need to have a body. Okay. Now in the body here, we need to return a column. Okay. Now this column is going to have children. So the first is going to be the expanded with that list view of messages, but it's not going to be these messages. So here, instead of this bottom field, we have built our bottom chat field. Okay, bottom chat field, which is what we are just from building, and then we can put the constant keyword in front. Okay, now here we need to return our messages. Okay, so our messages are coming from not this, it's going to be chat. It's what it's got message model dot start list dot length, and then here let's create a message. So let's get a final message. So this is going to come from message model dot chat list at index. Okay, now here we need to return that message. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, let's create the message bubble. So let's have a container. Let's close it out. Now here we need to differentiate between our messages and the contact message. So first I'm gonna give it some margin, and then here going to be constant of edge insets dot I'm going to put it as symmetric. So I'll change this to symmetric, and then here I'm going to put a vertical to 10 and then also horizontal to 10. Okay, so that's it about the margin. The next thing that we're going to do is just right after this margin is we're going to give this container a child. Okay, so let's have a child with a row widget. Okay, now this row is obviously going to have children, and in these children, first let's have the alignment correct. Okay, main axis alignment. So this is going to come on top of that children. So first, let's say main axis alignment, so here first we need to check if message dot is me. So if it is our message, we are going to align this to end, also I run it to start. Okay, that's how we're going to align the message. And then now after that, we're going to have a container again as a child. So in this container, we should first have some padding, which is going to be constant dot edge insets, and then all sides let's put something like 10. And then for the color, also we need to differentiate between our message and the contact message. Okay, so here again we're going to check message dot is me. Let's have the colors dot blue. Okay, else we're going to have that gray color. Okay, now also let's put the border radius. So just after this color in this container, we actually need to put this in the decoration so that we define the radius. So decoration, let's also have a box decoration. Now we can put the color inside, and then inside the decoration we can define the radius now. Okay, border radius. So this is going to be circular dot we're going to have a 10. Okay, something like that. Now after all of this is set, just down here now we can have a child, which is going to be a text, and then that text we know that it's going to be the message. Okay, so you can see that even the color is going to be defined like that. And then I think that's it. So we have our message, and then we can display it. Now if we try to hot reload, you can see that we can see the messages. Okay, Now, if we want to move these messages below, all we have to do is just to say reverse to true. If we hot reload, now if we check in one of these, we can see that if this is 2 down, you can just simply wrap this in a safe area. Okay, like that. So now you can see that we have this correct. Now the next thing to do, the UI is done. We can see that now it replicates the chat screen. The next thing to do is to start a call. So now I'm gonna start up another emulator and then run this application and then try the calling function in our ZEGOCLOUD video call. All right. Here we have it running on my Pixel 5 and my Pixel 8. But before we proceed, I'm going to do one last change in the core screen. Okay, so let's go back in the core screen here. Now here, let's create this user ID and username. We're just going to create some random string. So let's start with user ID, string user ID. So this is going to be a string. So we're going to start with user and then $sign. We open the brackets. Then we call our random class, random like that, dot next int. And then we're going to get the random number between maybe 1000. Okay. Let's import the math class. Okay. Okay. Why aren't we reporting? So we have a typo here. Has to be random like that. All right. So that's going to be our user ID. I'm going to just copy this, paste it here. This is going to be the user name. So here we're going to just, let's put it between 100 like that. Now here, instead of this, we're simply going to go our username. Then here also we'll call our user ID, and then that's it. So now this is going to be a random names. We can go ahead and save this. Now it's time to give it a try and see how ZEGOCLOUD video call works. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are starting a call from one device and then we're joining that same call on another device because we're using the same call ID here. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna use this one here and then I'll start a call. Now here, let's accept all the permissions. You can just accept everything. Now you can see the call has started. This side, it's a video call. Now let's also enter with this one and then we are going to join the same call because we are using the same call ID once again. Okay, so let's join the call. We can allow, and then you can see that we are on the same call with these two different devices. Okay, you can see this user and then this user. See, this is user 31, who is this one. Okay, and then this is user with that user 15, who is this same user. So this is two phones are communicating with the same video call. All right, so that's it, guys. So that's how we implement a video call using ZEGOCLOUD. So you can stay tuned because in the next one I'm going to see once one call is cancelled and then both of them are cancelled. In the next one, I'm going to show you how we can also use the group chat, and then you can also start, we can also make this phone ID, call ID dynamic. Right now, we are using the test because we are not connecting to a backend. If we are connected, we can start the call and then the other device can have a pop-up notification that there is an incoming call, and then they can simply answer from that. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe for more videos like this. Check out the links in description for ZEGOCLOUD UI kits and also for the source code.